Welcome to the Big Game Hunting Podcast, where we help hunters like you prepare for the big game hunting adventures you've always dreamed of. Now, here's your host, John McAdams.
Hello, John McAdams here. Welcome to episode 327 of the Big Game Hunting Podcast. I just made it back home from a fantastic couple of days at the Bergara Academy near Evanston, Wyoming. So this episode is a short, quote-unquote, campfire-style discussion of the highlights of our time up there that I recorded on the last evening in camp with Collin Russell from Bergara and 4 other media guys from the industry who joined me up there for the course. We recorded this episode using a portable audio recorder, so the audio is not up to my normal standards, and I apologize in advance for any distortions, echoes, background noise, wind noise, any of that stuff. I also just had a little bit of a cold when we recorded this episode in Wyoming as well, so my voice just sounded a little different in this episode, as you'll see here in a second, than is usual. But luckily, I'm feeling better now. During the course of this episode, we talk about the Bergara Academy, what we did there, the guns we shot during the training, what our favorite parts of the training were, all that sort of thing. So let's dive right into things with my discussion with Collin, Gavin, Ray, Joel, and Zach. Okay, John McAdams coming to you from the Bergara Academy in Evanston, Wyoming. I'm going to pass the recorder around and let all the gentlemen that are here with me introduce themselves to you. But I just finished a fantastic couple days here, meeting some really cool people in the industry, shooting Bergara rifles, and really getting to hone my skills at extended range. We'll talk more about the academy here and our experiences and the guns that we shot here in a minute. First thing I'm going to do is we'll pass it around the circle, let everyone that's here with me introduce themselves.
Perfect. Thank you, John. So I'm Zach with Mountains Mullets America. It's a long-range focused YouTube channel, practical precision rifle. I love to shoot precision ARs, precision bolt guns, extreme long range. And my goal is to bring the viewer along with my experience. And I hope in each of the videos that somebody watches, they take something valuable away that can help them improve their skill or go out and pursue the passion of long-range shooting. So find me on YouTube, Mountains Mullets America, and Instagram, Mountains Mullets America.
Thank you, Zach. Ray with X-Ring on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram with the X-Ring channel. Basically started a channel about 6 years ago, and it was primarily long-range type shooting, whether it was in competition for 3-gun or PRS or ruck-style matches. And basically it was a way for me to kind of share my experiences and make people purchase what they were really looking for, not what they thought that they needed. And not buying the wrong stuff, because in this industry today, it's easy to buy the wrong stuff and all of a sudden it doesn't fit. Perfect example would be, you hear the latest, greatest reticle comes out, you buy it and it was really more for, hunting instead of PRS, or it was too busy because I had too many wind holes. So little things like that, anything that I can add that helps a long range shooter, basically become a better long-range shooter, getting into the world of competitive shooting, is why I started the channel. But there is a lot of other content, everything from travel to machine guns, you name it. But now with the YouTube stuff, I really can't show a lot of that. So that's me. Let me hand it over to Joel.
Thank you, Ray. Yeah, so this is Joel from Precision Rifle Network. I'm basically the older, less interesting version of Zach. I do basically the same thing. I mean, I do a YouTube channel, focusing on long range content. I like, doing kind of more of the build style videos. I like to add pieces and components and switch things around and see what kind of changes they make. Those are kind of the funnest types of videos that I do. We also, can be found Precision Rifle Network on pretty much all of the socials. And, I would personally encourage you to go over to the Rumble page and, hit that up. I'm really trying to promote that. So that's about it for me. Pass it over to Gavin.
Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from Ultimate Reloader, ultimatereloader.com or youtube.com/ultimatereloader. We've been doing this a long time. We've kind of evolved from reloading and reloading equipment to building rifles, including machining. So we build the rifles, we build the ammo, we shoot out to long range. We also do some handgunning stuff, ballistics gel, scientific testing, lever guns, kind of a little bit of everything. But, kind of precision rifle is the mainstay, I would say. And just basically always learning and taking what I'm learning and passing it on to you all. Here's Collin from Bergara.
Awesome. Thanks. Yep. I'm Collin Russell with Bergara. I have got the distinct pleasure of being able to help pull this whole event together and get some friends out here together and just have an absolute fantastic time in some of the most beautiful country in our country, in my opinion. But yeah, it's been great. Been with Bergara for quite a while now and feel very honored to be able to do something that I absolutely love. So here we go.
Okay, so it's me again. I guess first thing, Gavin, I'll give a shout out to Guy Miner, who I know works with you now. Guy and I got associated on Facebook many years ago. And Guy, thank you very much. You gave me some help on a pronghorn hunt way back in the before time of 2019, and things turned out great. So thanks a lot for that. And I'm glad that you and Gavin are working together and doing good things together. Let's talk about the Bergara Academy. So we are here in southwestern Wyoming, very, very close to the Utah border. We all flew into Salt Lake City, drove 2 hours to get here. Bergara runs 2 long-range academies, one in Montana, one here in Wyoming. The one in Wyoming is brand new. This is the first year they've done this course, right? So they've done some others this summer prior to us getting here, Collin. But yeah. Okay, so first course in June. We are recording this in late July. But the idea with these courses is to take people with varying amounts of skill with firearms, from people who have never shot a gun before to people that are more familiar with it, running them through the fundamentals, making sure that they have that good base, letting them, teaching them how to zero a rifle, mount a scope, and then work out at known distances from 500 to 1,000 yards. And then they take them out into a more dynamic situation where you're shooting uphill, where you're shooting downhill at oddball ranges. Instead of it just being at 500 yards, you're shooting at 532 yards or 735 or whatever, in situations that more realistically approach the situations that you would encounter while you were hunting. So sometimes you shoot from the prone, sometimes you shoot kneeling with the tripod, whatever you can do. Use a backpack, all of the things that hunters that have done this a time or two know that you need to do sometimes. And if you're doing that for the first time, shooting from your pack or shooting kneeling when you're shooting at a deer or an elk, that's not when you want to be doing that. So you get in these reps in a situation here that is just not real common elsewhere. Most places, you go to a shooting range, you shoot from a bench at a known distance at 100 yards or 200 yards. Very rarely do you get to shoot from prone or anything like that, and especially shooting uphill and downhill. So all of that stuff is really cool what they have here. We went through a more abridged version of their course, and we did some things that people don't normally get to do at this course, but we went to the known distance range, shot a bunch of different Bergara rifles. We shot the normal stuff here that they have for the courses, and then a bunch of the new Bergara 2024 products. Shot those 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 yards, 1,000 yards. Shot them in the dynamic situations yesterday. Today, we took a couple different Bergara rifles in 7 PRC and 300 PRC, shot out to a mile this morning. That was fantastic. That was the longest I'd ever shot at that point. And then this afternoon, we decided to push the envelope a little bit more, and we shot out to 1.5 miles. And it was 2,700 yards we were shooting at with the 300 PRC and the 7 PRC. And gosh, I mean, how many hits did we get? I think about 8 hits. Yeah, between the 5 of us out there, and Forrest too. And so we had that was an amazing experience that I never thought that I would get to do. So that was really cool. Not a lot of places do you get to shoot like that. And then we did some more of the dynamic shooting, a little bit of a competition this afternoon at 1 mile, pairing off, shooting at a deer steel target and an antelope steel silhouette target. So those things are not normally what they do in the level 1 class that they have here. They have a level 2 class that you get into that, but that is the basics of this Bergara Academy. It's a fantastic experience here where you normally come for 2 days. Like I said, get that classroom instruction, get that time at the range, and just really build those skills that are so important for hunters. So that is the nuts and bolts of the course. I'm going to pass the mic around again, and I'll let everyone share what their favorite moment was, or just favorite thing in general about this experience. I'll go first. For me, the thing I really enjoyed the most was those dynamic situations where you're shooting uphill, shooting downhill at the different silhouette targets that were roughly approximating what I get to do a field. Like I talked about earlier, that's just so important to do, and it's so hard to practice. And so that was the first time I'd ever been able to shoot, one, past 600 yards, and two, really be able to get in those different situations, get comfortable shooting off my pack or from kneeling or even from the prone or things like that. Like I said, uphill and downhill. So that was really cool, very important, something I highly recommend to other people. And so now I'm going to pass it around and we'll see what everybody else enjoyed about the experience.
Perfect. Thank you, John. So it's Zach again. You think about where we're located. So I would say my favorite portion of this is the location. I mean, this place it's a beautiful ranch, but this is a long range paradise. You've got, you look around the place, you've got rolling hills, you've got open sage flats, you've got extreme distances, you've got high elevation. This, to me, the opportunity to shoot in this kind of terrain is a dream. It's something that, when I grew up on the East Coast, I literally dreamed of getting to shoot places like this. And this, it's kind of once in a lifetime. The opportunity, like you mentioned, the dynamic shooting conditions, realistic hunting type scenarios, whether it's in a sage flat or the angles, to me, that is, I had an absolute blast and really appreciate the opportunity to do that. It's something, if you haven't had the chance to do that, once you do it, man, you're hooked. And then that's all you want to do at that point. So a beautiful place like this, getting to shoot, that was it for me.
Thank you, Zach. Ray again. So for me, shooting out west is always a treat because coming from North Carolina, we don't have big open spaces or rolling hills. And so the opportunity to take longer range shots is impossible unless you're a member of a range. But even those ranges typically are going to limit you to about 1,000 yards. There are a few places that, you have to drive to and you might be able to reach out to a mile. But here we had the ability to reach out to 2,700 yards. It was a personal goal to be able to try to shoot that far. I'm not interested in any type of ELR, king of 2 mile type shooting, but it was really, really gratifying to see. Guys, we weren't using $10,000 custom rifles. We were using rack grade Bergara rifles, and we were making impacts, with $1,000 to $3,000 rifles using factory ammunition on targets that were 1.5 miles long. And it speaks volumes not only about the manufacturer of those rifles, but that you don't have to have the latest, greatest XYZ. You don't need to buy this, $8,000 custom rifle when you can actually learn everything you need to learn on something that's a lot simpler. You just got to know that platform. But the whole experience and the people that I was with was all in one. It was the best thing for me. I can't just pick one thing, but that's what I enjoyed about it the most. The location was awesome, though. I'm going to pass it off to Joel.
Guys, Joel, Precision Rifle Network again. I think probably for me, I said, Gavin asked me a question earlier today for one of his videos. Like, I think the best part, honestly, was just kind of getting to see all these other content creators, off camera and just getting to just experience people, and for who they really are. And it's just, it's a fun thing, it's fun to be able to hang out with people, at a smaller, more intimate type of event like this and just get to know people. That was probably my favorite thing. But close second was these mountain winds. I mean, I never get to shoot in the wind, I'm from Missouri. If we get a 10-mile-an-hour wind, that is a heavy, heavy wind day. And out here a 10-mile-an-hour wind is usually it's kind of unheard of. But this morning when we went to shoot a mile, we had like a 3-mile-an-hour wind for shooting that 7 PRC out to a mile. And that was a really fun experience. But even then, it's, you're shooting down across a valley and there's little inlets that the wind comes from in different directions. And you got to try to just strategize and figure all that out. And just, that was kind of the crux of the challenge. It was a problem that needed to be solved. And I enjoyed that part today.
Hey, Gavin again. So I would say, hanging out with the guys definitely is the main thing, getting to know people, different content strategies, different styles. And to me, that's always helpful for me to learn how to do my job better, basically. A lot of common interests, great discussions. But in terms of the shooting, definitely the 1 mile and 1.5 miles shooting, that was really cool. And, when you go to a different place to shoot, the distances seem different. the perception of distance, because, we shoot in the canyon, steep canyons, and things just look really different, even at 100 yards. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's the 100-yard. Okay. But also to have all of the rifles here, and it's not like the SHOT Show range day. When you go to the SHOT Show range day, it's kind of like cattle herding. You go through and you get a couple shots, and it's not a realistic kind of scenario. Here we were getting our ballistic calculators out, and we had the wind meter out, and we were looking at creating dope cards and doing holds or dials, and just real practical shooting, the positional shooting. Really, really fun stuff. And, calibers ranging from 6.5 Creedmoor to 6.5 PRC, 300 PRC, 7 PRC, quite a variety of different things going on. So, just really chill, but fun at the same time.
Hey, this is Collin Russell again. I'd have to say, aside from being able to spend time with all the guys here, if you were to take a step back and what this event and what this academy has to offer, I think my favorite part was with you, John, was doing the positional stuff. I think the practical application that has to offer for hunting scenarios, I think, is fantastic. It's not something that a lot of folks get to practice very often, in getting in an uncomfortable position and trying to make it a comfortable position, so that you can make an ethical and accurate shot. I also loved the fact that we were able to stretch it to a mile and then also play around at 1.5 miles, but going to a mile, even 1,000, but going to a mile, it allows you to really hyper focus on every little minutia that goes into making that shot actually hit the target. Everything from your support bag squeeze to your breathing, your bubble level, how your reticle's moving and everything. And just when you focus on it that hard to make a hit that far, when you come back and you're making a 300, 400 yard shot on a deer silhouette target, it feels like a chip shot. Like, I guess kind of the thing that came to mind while you guys were all talking is you look at professional basketball players, they'll practice their 3-pointers till they're blue in the face. That also makes their free throws that much easier because they've gone through the mechanics to make a farther shot. They can make an easier, closer shot. So that was really fun for me. I think it was also a blast just watching all you guys get to do what you do. You guys are all way better than me with this, because that's your jam. The long range stuff is your jam, and I haven't had as much experience to that. So I got to learn a ton from you guys. And then playing with all the different rifles, I think was really cool. And then seeing which one you guys kind of ended up picking up again and again and again, which I'm sure we'll go into with that. But it was an absolute blast. I think if I had done this earlier in my hunting career, I think I would have had way more confidence early on, and I think it'd be a very good skill to have and something to invest in prior to investing your own time or money into a hunt of your own. So.
Yeah, 100%, Collin. If you have everything dialed tight and you're consistently able to hit stuff at 900, 1,000 yards, the 300-400 yard shot got a whole lot easier at that point than it was for you before you were able to do that. It was nice, just like you said, being able to shoot all those guns, have a ton of ammo. No one's pressuring you to move along. Okay, hey, you want more ammo? You want to shoot some more? Which of these rifles you want to shoot? That's really nice. I even spent some time shooting with my weak hand today. I'm left-handed. I shot a little bit right hand, and I was nailing a target 400 yards with that. That's something I never thought that I would be able to do too. So you talked about rifles a little bit. So we shot a bunch of different Bergara rifles, some of the older models, but we also spent a lot of time shooting the new 2024 models in detail. So we had the Stoke, the Sierra, the Crest Carbon, and the Microlight was all the new stuff for this year. And then you had the 7 PRC version of the full-size MG Light, and then the 7 PRC version of the HMR Carbon, right? Correct. Is that anything else I missed, Collin?
That we brought here? No, that was all. Yeah, that's all the new stuff.
Okay. And so we shot all that stuff out here. Now we're going to pass it around. We're going to talk about our favorite rifle that we all shot. So I'll start off. The one that I really liked was that left-handed Sierra rifle, and MSRP $1,099 for it. Just so we're right on par with like a Browning X-Bolt, something like that. Bergara announced that they are now making that rifle in certain calibers in left-handed versions this year. Well, one of the left-handed 6.5 Creedmoors in the Sierra made it out here specifically for me, and I shot the heck out of that rifle, and I absolutely loved it. It's a lot of fun shooting that thing. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It shoots really well. The trigger is nice. The recoil off of it is not bad at all. We had a good suppressor on it, and it was a rifle that is just easy to shoot. I've had rifles that are easy to shoot, and I've had rifles that are hard to shoot. And this is one of those that was really easy to shoot. And so when a rifle is easy to shoot, it's a lot of fun to shoot it. And so that was my favorite rifle. We'll go back around the circle. Everyone tell us what you thought your favorite rifle was.
Perfect. Yeah. So like you mentioned, there was a ton of awesome rifles here. And as I was coming up into this, I was thinking about, my takeaways from the rifles that we shot. The one big one I had, first off, I'm quite impressed with the Cure carbon barrel. A lot of the rifles that we shot out here, there was mini Cure carbon barrels, and all the ones that I shot seemed to perform quite well, especially on paper at 100 yards. But if I had to choose one rifle that I really enjoyed shooting, I'm really impressed with, and, coming into this, typically when I'm shooting a rifle, I don't care about weight. The more weight it's got, the more I like it. Soaks up recoil, keeps it on target. I enjoy heavy rifles. That also said, I'm really curious about 7 PRC. So coming into this, we had the MG Light here in 7 PRC. I just looked up the specs on it. It's a 6.6 pound rifle. And if I had to choose one, I would say that actually was by far my favorite rifle to shoot for a couple reasons. One, the 7 PRC, because found myself quite impressed. We had no problem connecting out to 1,000 yards, out to a mile, and even, I believe we had a couple of confirmed impacts with the 7 PRC at 1.5 miles. Factory ammo, factory rifle. So the performance of 7 PRC helped boost that out of that rifle. But I also was really impressed with the performance of that rifle with the lightweight. So a 6.5 pound rifle with a scope on it. I don't know, you're probably in the 10 pound range, maybe sub 10 pound range. I really don't know. It was a very light rifle. And I tell you what, it wasn't that hard to shoot that rifle well, especially from a prone position where you could get your body behind it. So I was really impressed. Again, the accuracy of the Cure barrel that it had, the ability to push that 7 PRC far, and then how well a lighter weight rifle like that shot. So you think about this class and a lot of people that are probably coming here with a hunting mindset. You don't want the weight, but you want the performance. And I felt like the performance was there in that lightweight package. So if I had to choose one from the couple of days, it's the MG Light.
Thanks, Zach. So yeah, I'm going to be that guy. So I'm going to have to answer this as it depends on what we were doing. So for inside work, when we were at 1,000 and in, by far my choice was going to be the Sierra. The Sierra is lower on the price point. It's a simple, no frills hunting rifle that's just a little over $1,000. But we had unbelievable confidence in that rifle. Every time I was shooting with Gavin, we knew that the rifle was going to connect. It was very, very soft recoiling for what it was. Now, that's not going to be the rifle of choice when we were trying to stretch out to a mile or, 1.5 miles. In that application, I definitely would go with something that, bring enough gun. You want a 7 PRC or a 300 PRC. Now, I have played around with both the 300 PRC and the 7 PRC, but the more and more I shoot that 7 PRC, the more I'm impressed with it. And in this case, it would be that MG Light. Now, most of the stuff on my channel are premium rifles. They're chassis rifles. And, I was familiar with the chassis system and all that, but it is an impressive system. So for the longer range, I think 7 PRC might be the answer. Because it was so easy to do, even with factory ammunition, shooting that. So those are my two choices depending on application.
Thanks, Ray. Joel here from Precision Rifle Network. So I think my favorite was probably the MG Light as well. I'm not sure I care too much about caliber. I was impressed with the 7 PRC. It was great. Was able to stretch it further than I have ever stretched a 7 PRC yet. I too was impressed with it as a caliber, but like the 6.5 PRC, was there a 6.5 PRC with the MG Light? I can't remember. Or was it just?
It's available. We didn't have it.
Okay.
No, we had to divide.
Okay. That must have been the other one. I really like that package too. I mean, you got that super lightweight XLR chassis, and did the bigger one have the side folder? I can't remember either. There was too many guns, you guys. I mean, there was just so many. Like, I can't keep them all straight. But whatever one was super lightweight and had a side folder on it too.
The MG Light and the MG Micro Light.
Yeah, the Micro Light. Very, very cool. Very cool rifles, especially when you consider like the hunting type situations. Like, I'm more of a chassis guy. I like all the benefits of adjustability and, milled in, Arca Swiss rails up at the front so I can clip into tripods and things like that. Like, shots are rarely taken prone. So for me, it's gotta be able to clip into a tripod easily. And so I just love those features. And, that was pretty easy choice for me. It doesn't really matter the caliber. I just really love that chassis, and that Bergara Premier Action was smooth and great and just no issues. I mean, it was a pleasure to shoot those rifles.
Gavin from Ultimate Reloader again. I'm going to have to say the Micro Light. Ray and I were shooting at different types of animal steel targets out to 900 yards, and we were shooting off of the tripod. And it was just so easy. It kind of felt funny to shoot so accurately with such a compact form factor. You know, I had my thumb out on the forend. Forend's not very long, didn't hold me back. You know, it was just connecting with targets. And, you know, I also really like the crest stock, and have a couple of the B14 squared crest fluted steel barrel models at home. And so to shoot the crest with the carbon barrel was fun as well. Totally a winner for hunting stuff. But the Micro Light, I do have a 6.5 PRC chambered Micro Light at home waiting for me. And so now I'm super pumped about doing a bunch of content with that and trying out some different things. And, just, you know, sometimes you don't truly understand how fun something is until, like with the motorcycle, until you ride it. And it's hard to describe why, but it just puts that smile on your face and it works for you. So that's my answer. Over to Collin.
All right. So I don't know if I'm allowed to have a favorite. It's like seeing if I have a favorite kid, but I'm going to probably kind of steal off of Ray a little bit. I'm going to say it depends. I mean, my all time favorite rifle that we make right now personally is the MG Light. And I've got that in 7 PRC, which is exactly the same setup that we had here. I absolutely love that setup. When it comes to different situations or scenarios that we would have, I love the crest models. I love the ergonomics of that stock that we put together for that, the full carbon stock that we made, in house, which is awesome. As far as for this week though, I'd have to say the MG Micro Light as well, because being able to be so versatile, whether you were laying prone, standing, sitting, whatever it was, or standing with a tripod, obviously, it just was so comfortable to be behind. Like, it almost shouldn't be because it's so small. It's almost like if you have a micro carry pistol or something, they have a purpose to be small, but they're not awesome to shoot. It almost feels like this is kind of a balance of something that's small, but it's awesome to shoot. So it feels like we kind of made that connection there and found that balance, which I really like. And then again, the Sierra was an absolute hammer this week. Everybody shot it well. Everyone kept going back to it. And it's a rifle that anybody can get, at the retail price that it is. And, it was an absolute joy. That's a new rifle for us this year. And it was great. It was a ton of fun. And it was fun to see John have a left-handed rifle and have a smile on his face. We couldn't even get it out of his hands the whole week. So, but, those would be mine. I know it's kind of cheating by saying most of them, but those are kind of my highlights.
Yeah, we had an embarrassment of riches of nice rifles out here. I was just gushing about the Sierra earlier, and it is really nice having a left-handed rifle. And I know you guys were joking about how everyone's always asking for left-handed rifles, but then nobody buys them when you guys make them and all that stuff. But now you've got some good ones. And so I'm definitely jumping on board the left-handed Sierra bandwagon. And I hope all of my listeners that are left-handed as well at least give that rifle consideration, because it's a solid rifle. I really liked it. So as we wrap up here this evening, we'll pass the microphone around one last time, let everybody say goodbye, give us your channels one last time, and then we'll wrap it up.
Perfect. Thank you, John. So it's Zach with Mountains Mullets America again. And places to find me currently would be YouTube at Mountains Mullets America, and then Instagram with the same name, Mountains Mullets America. I kind of a newer channel, so I'm really trying to engage with my audience, and I get a lot of video ideas and whatnot through like the Instagram communications and stuff. So
this is America with an M, not an A, right?
Triple M, yeah. Mountains Mullets America, 3 M's. That yeah, my 3 favorite things, huh? So
good deal, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Ray again with X-Ring. Easiest thing to do is find me on YouTube under X-Ring, and you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram under the X-Ring channel. So let's go ahead and pass it off to Joel.
Yep, Joel Precision Rifle Network, and the YouTube channel is the main thing I'm trying to grow right now. So that is, of course, just youtube.com/Precision Rifle Network. You can also find me under Precision Rifle Network on Instagram and Twitter/X, Rumble, all the exact same channel name, so all written out. So.
Okay, Gavin, once again, ultimatereloader.com, the blog. We've got youtube.com/Ultimate Reloader. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. And actually, we're doing pretty well on Rumble. We're almost up to 10,000 subscribers, which doesn't normally sound super impressive. But given the platform, we're really happy with that. And we're seeing some great engagement over there. So thank you for everybody that has found us and subscribed on Rumble. Again, that's where you can find us.
Awesome. Thanks, Gavin. It's Collin Russell again. So to get more information about Bergara, it's just bergarausa.com. If you want to get more information on the Bergara Academies, they do fill up fast. Registration is open, but if you go to bergarausa.com and look for the Bergara Academies, there's going to be the Montana locations and then this location here in Wyoming. These Wyoming locations, I think, are going to fill up extremely fast. Again, this is a new location, but I think it's going to be an absolute amazing spot for us. So that's where you can get more information about us.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you this week, hang out with you, shoot with you. I really enjoyed it. That was a really fun part of the experience. We'll have to do it again sometime. So thanks for joining us. This is John signing out. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I put a link to the Bergara Academy website in the show notes. It is definitely worth checking out. We had a great time there. Rob and the guys at the Academy are excellent hosts, and they put on a heck of a course. They know a lot about shooting, and they know a lot about hunting as well. In fact, Rob runs an elk, deer, antelope outfitter out of that same location too. So not only does he know about hunting elk and whatnot and the situations you're commonly going to encounter those animals in, but you are literally doing this course in the exact same terrain that they hunt on in the fall. So it is about as close to actually going out and practicing your marksmanship for hunting without actually going out and going hunting. Now, like we mentioned, while we did get the opportunity to shoot at targets at 1 mile and even at 2,700 yards, which is just over 1.5 miles, that is not part of the normal course. Remember, this is a hunting-focused training course, so that is what most of the scenarios are geared towards. You'll shoot out to 1,000 yards on steel from a bench just to get your confidence up and to hone those fundamentals, but you'll also get to spend a lot of time shooting from various field shooting positions at targets of varying sizes and at varying ranges to more closely approximate the situations you are most likely to encounter afield. So check out the link in the show notes for more details on the course. I highly recommend booking a session there, regardless of whether you're a novice or a more experienced shooter. It is well worth your time and money. Additionally, links to everyone's YouTube and Instagram channels are in the show notes as well, so you can check out all the cool work Gavin, Ray, Joel, and Zach are doing. And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you sign up for my email list. To do that, click the other link in the show notes or go to huntingguns101.com. Sign up there. You'll get my free ebook on the best hunting calibers. Plus, you'll also start to receive the emails I send out every weekday. If you like the podcast, You will love those emails. So make sure you are getting them too by going to huntingguns101.com. Remember, you can make your dream hunt turn into a reality, and we can help. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next time on the Big Game Hunting Podcast.
This show may be over, but we have plenty more for you on our website. For more information on today's topic, as well as lots of other useful hunting resources, head over to the BigGameHuntingBlog.com. We look forward to having you back for the next episode. But until then, happy hunting.